Hey everybody, Craig here from Reviews.org. Subscribe. We just got done watching Apple's big event where they announced a bunch of new products and services. They announced, let's see, Apple News Plus, Apple Card, Apple Arcade, Apple TV channels improvements upon, and Apple TV Plus. There is a ton of stuff to go over with all of that, but today, right now, we're just going to concentrate on those last two, Apple TV channels and Apple TV Plus, because those are the most germane to us. This is the stuff that we've been talking about for the last few months on this channel. So if you like this sort of content, go ahead and subscribe, and let's get on with it. Let's start off with Apple TV Plus, in part because we know the least about it. This is, if you've heard about Apple dropping $1 billion in the last year on content creation, this is what they were talking about. $1 billion in content creation, where does that all go? Well, it turns out, here's where it all went. Really, really big names that they can use to sell this service. So what is the service? Well, that's a little bit tougher question to answer. It is going to be a streaming service with original content, but is there going to be anything else on Apple TV Plus? I don't know. Is this going to be like a Netflix thing where they have all sorts of on-demand content picked from different sources? I don't know. Is there going to be some sort of live TV aspect to it, kind of competing with Sling TV and DirecTV Now? I don't know. Oh, all I do know from this announcement, and this took 45 minutes for them to tell us about what they did, is that there are several new programs. These are TV shows produced and directed by the likes of, what's that guy's name? Steven Spielberg. They've got Oprah. They've got Jason Momoa doing a TV show. They've got all sorts of big name stars, actors, producers, directors doing these shows for Apple TV Plus. Now, they didn't give us an official launch date. I think it was fall, coming up this fall. So we'll see when the actual launch date is. The other thing they didn't give us was a price. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. I was really looking forward to how much I would have to pay for this. But let's just assume that with all these new programs, and these are high-flying programs, let's assume it's a bit like HBO or Showtime, where you can expect to pay, say, $15 a month for that service. It's going to have to be more than what I would like to pay, $5, $8 a month, because, like I said, they paid $1 billion for this stuff. So they are going to charge you for it, and I would imagine they'll charge you something like HBO rates. We'll bring more info on that as it comes. But let's get to Apple TV channels. This was, for me, the more interesting announcement. This is exactly what I was asking for in the DirecTV video a few weeks ago. If you go check that out, basically what I was saying is I want one of two things from a streaming service platform. One would be true a la carte, where I get to pick and choose which channels I want, which live TV channels I want. The other would be a platform that kind of aggregates all of these channels, all these things together, and lets me pay for them and watch them all in one place. And that second option, that is what Apple TV channels, gosh, I hate these names, that's what that's going for. And so essentially what it means is in your Apple TV, if you use an Apple TV, by the way, they're great, I do like them, but in that Apple TV ecosystem, there's a TV app. And in that app right now, it kind of aggregates things and it gives you, suggestions of things to watch. They're essentially supercharging that. And right now, they're not saying that it's going to cost you anything extra, which is great. But what you can do is use your Apple profile, your ID that has your credit card info and all that stuff stored in there to now say, okay, I want ESPN Plus and HBO and Showtime or whatever. You take all those different subscriptions and you pay the subscription through the Apple App Store, and it'll aggregate all that content for you and show you everything that you can watch. You can also do that with live TV streaming services like Hulu with live TV or what have you. They didn't say YouTube TV because, well, it's Apple and they don't play that nice with Google anyway, so probably not that one. But If you plug those in, you can then see everything that's live right now that's available to you, everything that's on demand that's available to you through all those apps. So it is a nice little app that they're creating there. What I was worried about was that it would be available only if you used an Apple TV, which would be annoying because Apple TV is kind of expensive. But what they're doing is they're actually rolling this out for it looks like almost all smart TVs. Again, maybe not those Google platforms. They suspiciously left those off of their list, but they're talking about smart TVs from Samsung and Sony and those big name brands, but then also Amazon Fire TVs and Roku TVs will have access to this Apple TV Channels app. So all of us are going to be able, all of us who use those are going to be able to enjoy this aggregating service if we so choose. I'm just not enough in the Apple ecosystem to say that this is super duper exciting to me, but I like the direction quite a bit. I am always wary about getting some new product or service from Apple because once you step into that ecosystem, they really get you. They want you to buy more and more and more Apple stuff. But with this direction, hopefully we would see some other companies, some other brands doing something similar. I would like to see Roku take that one step further from the platform they currently have to something that looks an awful lot like this. It would be really nice. Anyway, that's about what we have from the announcements today. We'll keep an eye out on what comes up down the line, but that's what we're looking at. What we have, again, Apple News, which I mentioned at the beginning, they announced a $10 price on that per month. Apple Card, I assume, won't have a monthly cost. They do have Apple Arcade, which is a video gaming service. That will have a monthly cost. I would assume 10 or 15 bucks a month. Apple TV channels will be free to use as far as I can tell. And Apple TV Plus, again, we don't have a price. I would assume 15 bucks, give or take 5. But with all that, you add in Apple Music, which you already might have, that's 10 bucks a month. Essentially, they're putting more services out there that they're hoping to get that monthly subscription from you on there. So they could be getting quite a bit of our dollars every month. We'll see exactly what we all pay for. Is everybody excited for this? I'm not sure. Like I said, I do like the Apple TV channels concept. The Apple TV Plus with all the original content, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I'm more excited for the other one. As for the rest of the world, I can't speak for it yet because this news was just announced, but I can tell you that as soon as all these announcements were made, Apple's stock started trading a little bit down about 2%. Not that maybe you care about that too much, but it is kind of an indication of how investors are feeling about this at the moment. So we'll see where it all goes. Hopefully it's all great. I don't know. I have my doubts, but I'm also kind of excited for at least one of these things. So if this is helpful to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's get on with it.